Cider.
Miss Haley Glucko.
"300 Goats" by Naomi Shihab Nye. In icy fields? Is water flowing in the tank? Will they huddle together, warm bodies pressing? Is it the year of the goat or the sheep? Scholars debating Chinese zodiac, follower or leader? Oh, lead them to a warm corner. Little ones toward bulkier bodies. Lead them to the brush, which cuts the icy wind. Another frigid night swooping down. Aren't you worried about them? I ask my friend, who lives by herself on the ranch of goats, far from here, near the town of Ozana. She shrugs. Not really. They know what to do. They're goats. Epitaph by Catherine Phillips. What on earth deserves our trust? Youth and beauty both are dust. Long we gathering are with pain, what one moment calls again. 7 years childless marriage past. A son is born at last. So exactly limbed and fair, full of good spirit, mean and air, as a long life promised. Yet, in less than 6 weeks, dead. Too promising, too great a mind, in so small room to be confined. Therefore, as fit in heaven to dwell, he quickly broke the prison shell. So the subtle alchemist can't with Hermes' seal resist. The good spirits, subtler fight, but 'twill bid him long good night. And so the sun, if it arise, half so glorious as his eyes, like this infant takes a shroud, buried in a morning cloud.
The Farmer by W.D. Earhart. Each day I go into the fields to see what is growing and what remains to be done. It is always the same thing. Nothing is growing. Everything needs to be done. Plow, harrow, disc, water, pray, till my bones ache and hands rub blood raw with honest labor. All that grows is the slow, intransigent intensity of need. I have sown my seed on soil, guaranteed by poverty to fail. But I don't complain, except to passerby who ask me why I work such barren earth. They would not understand me if I stooped to lift a rock and hold it like a child, or laughed, or told them it is their poverty I labor to relieve. For them I complain. A farmer of dreams knows how to pretend. A farmer of dreams knows what it means to be patient. Each day I go into the fields. Work Without Hope by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. All nature seems at work. Slugs leave their lair, the bees are stirring, birds are on the wing, and winter, slumbering in the open air, wears on his smiling face a dream of spring. And I, the while, the sole unbusy thing, nor honey make, nor pair, nor build, nor sing. Yet well I ken the banks where amaranths bloom, have traced the fount whence streams of nectar flow. Bloom, O ye amaranths, bloom for whom ye may. For me ye bloom not. Glide, rich streams, away. With lips unbrightened, wreathless brow, I stroll. Would you learn the spells that drowse my soul? Work without hope draws nectar in a sieve, and hope without an object cannot live.
Epilogue by Robert Lowell. Those blessed structure, plot and rhyme, why are there no help to me now? I want to make something imagined, not recalled. I hear the noise of my own voice. The painter's vision is not a lens, it trembles to caress the light. But sometimes everything I write, with the threadbare art of my eye, seems a snapshot, lured, rapid, gouged, grouped, heightened from life, yet paralyzed by fact. All's misalliance, yet why not say what happened? Pray for the grace of accuracy? Vermeer gave to the sun's illumination. Stealing like the tide across the map, to his girl, solid with yearning. We are poor passing facts, warned by that to give each figure in the photograph his living name. Thoughtless Cruelty by Charles Lamb. There, Robert, you've killed that fly, and should you 1,000 ages try the life you've taken to supply, you could not do it. You surely must have been devoid of thought and sense to have destroyed a thing which you no way annoyed. You one day rue it. 'Twas but a fly, perhaps you'll say, that's born in April, dies in May, that does but just learn to display its wings 1 minute, and in the next is vanished quite. A bird devours it in its flight. Or come a cold blast in the night, there's no breath in it. The bird but seeks its proper food, and Providence, whose power endued that fly with life, when it sees good, may justly take it. But you have no excuses for it. A life by nature made so short, less reason is that you, for sport, should sure to make it. A fly,
a little thing you rate. But Robert, do not estimate a creature's pain by small or great. The greatest being can have but fibers, nerves, and flesh, all of which the smallest possess, although their frame and structure less escape our seeing.
More Lies by Karen Gottschall. Sometimes I say I'm going to meet my sister at the cafe, even though I have no sister, just because it's such a beautiful thing to say. I've always thought so, ever since I read a novel in which two sisters were constantly meeting in cafes. Today, for example, I walked alone on the wet sidewalk, wearing my rain boots, expecting someone might ask where I was headed. I bought a steno pad and the watch battery, the store windows fogged up. Rain in April is a kind of promise, and it costs nothing. I carried a bag of books to that cafe and ordered tea. I like a place that's lit by lamps. I like a place where you can hear people talk about small things, like the difference between azure and cerulean and the price of tulips. It's going down. I watch someone who could be my sister walk in, shaking the rain from her hair. I thought, even now, florists are filling their coolers with bundles of tulips, $5 a bundle. All over the city, there are sisters. Any one of them could be mine. Breakfast by Mary Lamb. A dinner party, coffee, tea, sandwich, or supper, all may be in their way pleasant. But to me, not one of these deserves the praise that welcomer of newborn days, a breakfast, merits, ever giving cheerful notice we are living another day refreshed by sleep when its festival we keep. Now, although I would not slight those kindly words we use good night, yet parting words are words of sorrow and may not vie with sweet good morrow, with which again our friends we greet when in the breakfast room we meet, at the social table round, listening to that lively sound of those notes which never tire of urn or kettle on the fire. Sleepy Robert never hears, or urn or kettle, he appears when all have finished, one by one dropping off and breakfast done. Yet has he too his own pleasure? His breakfast hour is his hour of leisure, and, left alone, he reads or muses, or else in idle mood he uses to sit and watch the ventress fly where the sugar's piled high, clamoring o'er the lump so white, rocky cliffs of sweet delight.
The Children's Hour by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Between the dark and the daylight, when the night is beginning to lower, comes a pause in the day's occupations that is known as the children's hour. I hear in the chamber above me the patter of little feet, the sound of a door that is opened, and voices soft and sweet. From my study I see, in the lamplight, descending the broad hall stair, grave Alice and laughing Allegra, and Edith with golden hair. A whisper, and then a silence. Yet I know by their merry eyes they are plotting and planning together to take me by surprise. A sudden rush from the stairway, a sudden raid from the hall. By 3 doors left unguarded they enter my castle wall. They climb up into my turret, over the arms and back of my chair. If I try to escape, they surround me, they seem to be everywhere. They almost devour me with kisses, their arms about me entwine, till I think of the Bishop of Bingen in his mouse tower on the Rhine. Do you think, O blue-eyed banditti, because you have scaled the wall, such an old mustache as I am is not a match for you all? I have you fast in my fortress, and will not let you depart, but put you down into the dungeon in the round tower of my heart. And there will I keep you forever, yes, forever and a day, till the walls shall crumble to ruin and molder in dust away. Today by Billy Collins. If ever there were a spring day so perfect, so uplifted by a warm, intermittent breeze, that it made you want to throw open all the windows in the house and unlatch the door to the canary's cage. Indeed, rip the little door from its jamb. A day when the cool brick paths and the garden bursting with peonies seemed so etched in sunlight that you felt like taking a hammer to the glass paperweight on the living room end table, releasing the inhabitants from their snow-covered cottage so they could walk out, holding hands and squinting, into this larger dome of blue and white. Well, today is just that kind of day.